Okay, this is lesson 3 for your NEA. So if we're in this video, if I just go through the PowerPoint, if I give it some kind of commentary, and then hopefully you might understand it better. So the progress so far, so we've been concentrating on something called the context sheet. In that's when you've explored the context, which was the spider diagram. There then should be a paragraph explaining what the potential problem or design opportunity that you're going to be looking to explore. We're kind of going down the route related to the promotion of a school band, trying to get their music out there, maybe raise some funds by selling CDs as well and merchandise. You've then got another paragraph, which is this one, related to the client, so who the client is going to be. So that client could be it could be the band members or the group or the artist, and the other foot it could also be the people who are going to buy the merchandise. And then the last one here, you should have roughly an initial plan for the research, what you think you might have to do for the research. So that could be a product analysis on CD packaging. It could be looking at exploring some materials. It could be gathering some thoughts of the client by interviewing them. So just at this stage, what do you think you might have to do? Okay, so that's what you should have done so far. This is the assessment criteria. Remember, this is the top band. It's out of 10. And then if you look, I've highlighted on here, we're still looking at exploring the possibilities for the solution, but also you've got the client has clearly been identified as well. So make sure you've mentioned that on your context sheet. So it should look a little bit like this. So you've got your spider diagram on the left hand side, then you've got the problem, then you've got the client, and then you've got the initial plan. Try and make sure it's concise, really packed, and then make sure that you don't go above 12 points inside for the text as well. So this lesson, these are the aims on there. There's quite a lot on there, but they're all linked related to designing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're looking at something called your first thoughts or your initial thoughts. So these are not initial, they're not ideas. They're just before you've done any research. They're what do you currently have in your head, and let's get them down on paper. And then it should be a difficult process this because you've not done any research. And then from your sketches, you need to highlight what research you need to do from them. So if you generate an idea and you're thinking, I've got no idea how big this idea is going to be, obviously we'd have to do some research to try and work out how big it needs to be. If you're thinking, here's an idea, but I don't know what I'm going to make out of, obviously we'll have to do some research into the materials then. So you're going to generate a series of quick sketches which could potentially solve the problem. So they're not going to be the final solution. So this is the assessment criteria for today's lesson. So the design possibilities identified and thoroughly explored. That's what we're trying to have a go at now. So it's over 2 lessons. So this will be Tuesday's lesson and then Thursday's lesson as well. So the second aim and objective is to try and generate your ideas, but also then we're going to try and evaluate them. And then we're going to look at what research needs to be done in order to carry out those ideas. And then we're trying to kind of incorporate some of your communication techniques that you've used, like isometric drawing, 2D drawing, thick and thin line technique in there as well. So that's the lesson. So the next video I'll demonstrate them, and then I'll show you the example as well. But before we do that, we've also got here, you can kickstart it with a spider diagram to get you going. So this is from a previous project on there. So you can start with a spider diagram or a word association connected with music, genres and bands and merchandise. Off that, you can then try to generate your ideas as well. So there could be doodles, sketches, just get them out of your head onto the paper, just small annotations to explain what they are and how they might work, but then also try and identify what problems, what don't you know, so you're trying to evaluate them as well. So put little crosses to indicate things that I need to try and find out about them. And then I've done a really rough research box in the corner here, things I need to work out. Here's an example. Don't copy this, but this is the kind of thing that we're going to be doing. That's the one I'm going to demonstrate on the next video. But I've got a spider diagram here, and then I've got some ideas about CD packaging. I've got some ideas for t-shirts. I've got some ideas for maybe badges or backstage passes or point of sales displays and things like that on the side. So it's just an example to help you. Okay.